In a quiet corner of the city, next to a small garden filled with colorful flowers, lived a white cat named Marie with a pink bow. She was kind and gentle, but she always felt a sense of loneliness in her heart. Every day she would gaze outside from her balcony, wishing she had a friend. Her home was warm and beautiful, but something was missing, a feeling that could only be fulfilled by a true friend. One day, Marie was sitting on her balcony watching the outside world. A cool breeze was blowing, carrying the sweet scent of spring flowers. Suddenly, her eyes caught sight of an orange, chubby cat named Garfield walking down the street. His bright eyes and mischievous smile immediately caught her attention. Garfield noticed her gaze, smiled, and gracefully walked towards the balcony. "Hello, I haven't seen you here before," Garfield said in a warm and friendly voice. Marie smiled and said, "Hello? I usually watch from my balcony. I always wished I had a friend to talk to and play with." Garfield replied kindly, "Well, I can be that friend." And so their friendship began. Every morning, Marie and Garfield went to the garden. They played among the fragrant flowers, climbed trees, and played with the autumn leaves that rustled under their paws. They tossed the leaves into the air, hid beneath them, and enjoyed the delightful sound of their crunch. With each passing moment, their hearts grew closer. One day, while playing in the leaves, Marie said, "You know, I used to think that being alone was something I had to get used to, but now I realize how much friendship can make life more beautiful." Garfield nodded and said, "Friendship means being there for each other, laughing together, playing together, and sometimes just sitting in silence, knowing someone understands you." When winter arrived, their adventures changed. They learned how to ice skate, laughing at their funny slips and tumbles. Garfield, always energetic and playful, eagerly tried to learn new moves, while Marie was more careful and cautious. "Are you always this brave?" Marie asked one day. Garfield smiled and said, "No, but I've learned that if I don't try new things, I'll never know how much fun they can be." Those words gave Marie more courage, teaching her that taking risks could bring wonderful experiences. On colder days, they sat by the fireplace, wrapped in warm blankets, reading books. Sometimes they played with yarn balls, running around the house. Their moments were filled with joy and comfort, and they both knew they would never feel lonely again. Finally, New Year's Eve arrived. Marie and Garfield decided to decorate the Christmas tree together. Carefully, they wrapped the glowing lights around it, chose the decorative baubles, and placed a shining star at the top. They stood back and admired their work, their eyes shining with happiness. That special night, as snowflakes gently fell from the sky, Garfield spoke softly, filled with emotion. "I'm so happy I found you." Marie smiled warmly and said, "Me too. You are the best friend I've ever had." Garfield smiled and added, "You know, I always thought happiness meant playing alone and going on adventures. But now I understand that true happiness is having someone who understands you and shares special moments with you." Marie nodded and said, "And I've learned that friendship means supporting each other, learning from one another and standing by each other through both joy and hardship." Then they each brought out a small letter. In these letters, they had written about the love that had blossomed between them. They exchanged the letters, smiling with joy, and celebrated the new year together beside the Christmas tree. From that night on, their friendship took on a new color, a color as warm as love and companionship.